Hey guys, Dr. J here with another Move With Me Monday. And this week I want to talk about a common problem I see in practice and one of the areas that it can come from within your body, which again is quite commonly seen in my practice. So I want to talk about knock knees or genu valgum. So those are knees that fall in. And specifically for this video, we're looking at when it happens more in a dynamic situation. So either walking or running where you see the knees come in. There are a number of reasons that this can happen. Even some people have this anatomy more on a regular basis, and it can be due to their hip development, it can be due to foot development. So those are things to investigate if you notice that you have this type of posture on a regular basis. But if generally you're finding your posture is quite good on a regular basis, but when you start moving, the knees fall in, it can either be coming from the muscles and the supports in the feet. And another common cause, which this video is going to address, is weakness within the glute muscles, specifically the glute med. The glute med is a muscle in the side of the hip. Again, it's a glute muscle as it's named, but this muscle is generally very hard to recruit. I see people having really big problems activating it, and what it's responsible for is hip and knee stability. So basically, if you were to stand on one leg and you had a good glute med, you could maintain level hips while standing on one leg. If you have a weakness or difficulty activating, you may notice pain in through the side or back of the hip, or a hip drop if you try to sustain this position for a long period of time. That means you have a glute med weakness. So I'm going to go through 2 exercises with you in which you can help to strengthen and recruit your glute med so that when you're out for walks and runs, those knees stay nice and stable and you don't develop knee or hip issues as a result of it. So if you're ready, here we go. Okay, so the first exercise is actually the hip hike, and it's using a similar position that I showed you that you could test it in. So what you're going to want to do is have something that you can hold on to for stability, so hand on something stable, and you are going to come up onto one leg. What you're going to do is allow the hip to drop in a controlled motion and straighten it out so that your hip bones are level, and hold. Allow the hip to drop in a controlled motion and bring it back up to neutral and hold. Allow the hip to drop, or an attitude hip, and then bring it back up, feeling the recruitment in the back and side of your hip. Drop and hold. Drop and level it off again. So you can do this 10 to 20 times. You want to go a little bit higher rep on this exercise because this muscle is a stability muscle. You're going to need it to be acting for a longer amount of time, and you want to repeat it on both sides. So on this side, hip drops or attitude hip to the one side, then you are going to level it up, feeling the muscles activate in through the side of the hip. Hip drops, bring it level. Hip drops, bring it level. So again, aim for 10 to 20 reps when you do this, and 2 to 3 sets. All right, the second exercise I'm going to show you is called monster walks. So what you're going to need for this is a band. These can be found at Walmart, purchased online, and you can usually get them in light, medium, and strong. When you're starting out with this, start with the lightest just to see how it feels, and then work your way up as it gets easier. So with this band, what we're going to do is we are going to be putting it around the legs. The higher up you go, the easier it gets. So when you're starting out, start with the band above the knees. As it gets easier, before you go to the higher band, work the band down to the ankle. So for this, what you're going to get into is a nice neutral back position, or almost like a chair pose that we've talked about in previous videos. So feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, into a squat position from the side, looks like so. When you are in this position, what you're going to do, open up the hips. That turns on your glute meds. If you let the knees fall in, you are reinforcing the issue that you already have. So knees out. And what you can do this in a hallway. If you don't have the space, which I don't here, you can go side to side. So one step and plant, plant. Again, for this, 10 to 20 in each direction, or 10 to 20 down a hallway in one direction and 10 to 20 back. Just nice and easy. And you're really going to feel probably around rep 5 to 10, the glutes on the side of the hip really start to fire. So you're in that baby squat position, moving slow and controlled side to side. Now, another way which you can do this exercise is front and back. So getting into this position, knees out, and I'm walking forward, stepping slightly from side to side, and then back. And 10 to 20 on each leg in each direction. And again, this will really get those hips firing. All right, guys, so this has been another Move With Me Monday. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us either by email or on our Facebook page. If you do have any actual hip pain, knee pain, or foot pain, before you start any exercise program, make sure that you are getting yourself assessed by a qualified musculoskeletal specialist before you start any exercise routine. As always, stay safe, everyone.